CCS Online. We are so excited to have you guys join us. This is session 2 of the summer. My name is Marley. I'm from the Statesboro campus, and with me I've got Jordan Wolf.
What's up? I'm from the Effingham campus, and we don't care which campus you're from. We're just pumped that you're here. If you're in the chat right now, just drop down what campus that you're at. We're excited that you're here. We got an awesome night planned for you.
I mean, super awesome. And I don't know if you guys tuned in last time, but I beat Jordan in our wings challenge. It was incredible.
Oh, that's weird because you drank the milk and I got more points from the people. So I'm pretty sure that makes me a winner. But either way, I got an idea.
Okay.
We'll play a game today, and for sure, we're gonna have points that are gonna determine the winner so that there's no like gray area today. Does that work for you?
What game is it? Because I like to win.
It's a game that we all know, and what's awesome is everybody's gonna play. We have a few students that are here that are gonna play, but also you that are watching online, we want you to jump in too, and you're gonna be able to win gift cards too. So we're gonna play a classic game of Pictionary.
Sounds great.
Can you draw?
No, but I love Pictionary.
Me neither. I was super confident about beating you until I found out we were playing Pictionary, and now I really hope my team picks me up.
So you're saying there's a chance?
They're saying there's a chance. So why don't we do this? I'll explain the rules, and then we'll invite our guest on to join us, okay? Here we go. So the way this is gonna work, we're gonna have 3 rounds. 28 seconds each, no words. You can't say words, you can't write words. You also can't say anything out loud, right? You can't speak. It's gotta be quiet, all drawing the pictures, okay? Now, the first one online that gets the picture right, you win a gift card for each round.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat. First one, you're the winner, okay? And then on the 3rd round, we're gonna throw a little curveball, if you will, okay? Curveball is this, anybody can answer, all right? That way we can get more points, wins, everybody's in. You feel good?
I feel good.
All right, introduce the first person of your team.
All right, guys, she's got the coolest socks at all the campuses. Her name is Hadley Mims. Y'all give her some love in the chat.
Well, I got some friends here too. And my first comes from the East Campus, coming in at a startling 3'3", 335 pounds. RJ, knock your socks off, Alex! Let's go!
I've got another one from the Statesboro campus.
Let's hear.
She's the one, the only, Daisy Calhoun.
Let's go, Daisy!
Daisy, how we feeling?
Pretty good, pretty confident.
Pretty good.
And now I have my last contestant coming in at a startling 7'7", 111 pounds, Sabrina the Boss Thornton.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Here's my team. I'm ready to go. CCS Online, get ready to play. Let's go right now. All right, Marlo, are you ready?
I think so.
All right, here we go. Remember, these are locations. Look at your card. Look at your card. Okay. Oh, man, she doesn't feel that good. That's right. You got 28 seconds, okay? 28 seconds. Ready, set, go. Here we go. Here we go. I hope you don't get it.
I can't see that.
Here we go. Hope you don't get it.
Applebee's.
Nope.
A gas station.
Here we go.
Yes. That's right.
What? How do you even get a gas station?
Gas can car.
Okay. That's impressive. That is really impressive. I'm not gonna let you know. I'm just gonna let you all down here. So let's go.
All right, Jordan, go ahead and pick up your card. I'm gonna restart the timer. Again, it's a location. I'll take your card.
Wait, can we guess that?
Okay. I'm gonna start the timer. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Oh, mini golf. Oh, a sailboat. So on the ocean. A buoy. A boot. No. Okay.
There it is. Boom! Yes! What's up? How do we, RJ? How do we get the team?
I had that in my head.
Yes!
Good job, good job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Here we go.
Let's take this.
That was a terrible, terrible tree. So RJ, wow, way to come up right there.
All right,
Because
Daisy, you got
Daisy.
it.
I did not draw that very well.
This.
All right, here we go. Go ahead and grab your card. Look at it. Don't let anybody else look at it because we don't want cheaters, right? Here we go.
You got it.
Here we
got
go.
it.
Hand me your card. All right, look at it. Think about it. Contemplate it. 3, 2, 1, go.
Daisy, we believe in
All right,
you.
remember,
Yes,
28
it's
seconds.
it's a store. It's a house.
location.
It's a mountain.
words.
Volcano.
Can't use words.
Yeah, volcano.
Can't use words.
You got it, you got it.
House.
It's a house.
I don't know, bookstore.
A hospital. Windows.
A hotel.
You got it, keep going.
Mansion.
What's the first thing you
10
think of when you see this word?
10 seconds. 5 seconds.
Grandma's house. Smoke.
Smokehouse.
Fog.
Smokehouse.
Clouds.
Cabin.
Done. You can't get it. You can't get it anymore. You can't get it. You can't
Daisy,
get it. Your
what?
time's over. Your time's over. RJ's turn.
A museum?
RJ's turn.
do you do
It's RJ's
that?
turn. Okay, here we go.
Daisy, I'm
RJ.
so proud of
You're
you.
up.
Okay.
You're up.
All right,
You're up.
RJ.
Here we go. Here we go. Come on, Sabrina, we got this. RJ, we believe in you. We
right,
believe
RJ.
in you. You can do this.
You can go ahead and look at your card.
You can do this.
Don't let your
Here we
teammates
go.
see it.
Here we go. We can get
got
the
it?
lead right here, Sabrina.
I'll
we can
take
do
it,
this.
Yes.
I
All right,
believe in
RJ,
you,
go ahead
RJ.
and grab
I
your
got your back.
All right.
Okay.
Think about it. On your mark, get set, go.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
Draw on.
McDonald's. Oh, grass. Palm tree. So Hawaii.
Hawaii, we're at the
Palm
beach. We're under
Forest.
we're underneath the tree.
Camping.
Jungle, forest. Jungle, yes, 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 yes. Woo, RJ, that's what I'm talking about. That's 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. I'm not saying we're gonna win, but I am saying we're taking the lead. So here we go. All right, now we're on the third round.
Yeah,
Here's
we got
what's
this.
different.
All right, Hallie,
We're
this
gonna
is you.
have two people draw at the same time. But here's the thing, we can all guess and get the point, okay? So Sabrina's gonna come up, she's gonna come up. Go ahead, take your card, both of you, take a little look-see, take a little look at the card, let each one look at it. Each one look at the card, take a second, and then we'll start the time.
Oh yeah, perfect. Right
Gotta
there.
take these off. I'll get you, it's free too. You get an extra sheet of paper. Here we go. All right, ready, set, go. Here we go. Here we go. Dolphin, cruise.
Airplane.
What?
Airport.
No. Oh!
So did we win?
That's a tie. It was 2-2.
Don't make
Is that the
me
last
do
card
was
or is that
2-2.
the card?
That's the last card. That's 2-2. So you know what, Marley? That's what's good. We're all part of one family. We'll tie. We'll take it.
Again?
Take it home.
We're gonna
That's
tie
better.
again?
There's no more bitterness. We can lose. Hey, thank you all so much for playing. You can go have a seat. Hey,
Thanks, guys. Proud of you
CCS, no matter where you are right now, we're so glad that you've joined us. We hope that you enjoy the gift cards for whoever won.
That's true. I hope you guys are staying engaged in the chat, but right now, we've got so much for you guys. Logan's gonna lead us in worship. Zach's gonna lead us, or he's gonna preach a message for us, and it's gonna be awesome. We're continuing the 10 Commandments, so we're gonna keep going to that. We're gonna give it to Logan, and she's gonna lead us.
Let's go.
Staring into your eyes makes my heart come alive. Suddenly brought to life when I met you. Reaching beyond the skies, running deep, stretching wide. Perfect love realized here with you. This love is for real, you will never let go, never let go. Oh, and it's more than just words, love beyond my control, out of control. And this is real love, this is real love. This is real love, this is real love. Whoa. You're pulling me closer and closer, holding my heart till the very end. Jesus, I'm found in your freedom. This is the love, this is the love. In your heart I'm found. I want you, I want you. You won't let me down. You've got me, you've got me. And this love is for real, you will never let go, never let go. Whoa, and it's more than just words, love beyond my control, out of control. Pulling me closer and closer, holding my heart till the very end. Jesus, I'm found in your freedom. This is the love, this is the love. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. You're pulling me closer and closer, holding my heart till the very end. Jesus, I'm found in your freedom. This is the love, this is the love. Whoa. Staring into your eyes makes my heart come alive. Suddenly brought to life when I met you. 1, 2, 3, go! real love. This is real love. This is real love. This is real love. Whoa. You're pulling me closer and closer, holding my heart till the very end. Jesus, I'm found in your freedom. This is real love. This is real love. This is real love.
As we dive into the 10 Commandments, I've been thinking about this idea. And the idea is, what would life be like if our society could just buy in to the 10 Commandments? Like, what if we actually followed them? What if we could just figure out one? I mean, take stealing as an example. If the whole world was just super committed to not stealing, do you know how that would change the world? I mean, take a latte as an example. I know a lot of us like lattes. I know a lot of you go to Starbucks and you actually have found a way to make Starbucks lattes cost $6, $7, sometimes even $10 with some of the stuff that you guys put in your latte, right? Do you know why lattes are so expensive? I mean, a latte is essentially a 3-ingredient formula. It's coffee, it's milk, and it's syrup. Why is that so expensive? Think about this. The place where those ingredients come from, that industry has to upcharge their ingredients because they have employees that steal stuff from them. So much so that sometimes those industries have to buy something called theft insurance. And so they charge the coffee shops a premium to make sure they make a profit. And so the ingredients get to the coffee shop where we purchase our lattes, but what happens at the coffee shop? I mean, there's a barista who's trying to get through their shift, so they might take an extra espresso shot. And then there's a customer who comes in who might steal a scone or a cookie. And then you know what happens? Instead of a latte costing us $2, it costs us $6, all because of theft. If we could eliminate theft, it would cut expenses across the board. I mean, your parents' house payment or rent payment could be chopped potentially in half. Your gas, your food chopped in half. Seniors, your college tuition that you're stressing out, trying to figure out how you're gonna pay, it could be potentially cut in half. Think about how much money that would put in your pocket. That would be so much better than any stimulus check that the government could ever provide for us. If we as a society could just figure out how to stop stealing. I mean, that would be incredible. And I think the commandment that we're looking at tonight, what some people call the forgotten commandment, could absolutely shock the world if we figured it out. The fourth commandment, it's right after the big three where God is trying to tell us how to position Him in our lives. I mean, this is important. It's number 4, yet we don't talk about it very much. Exodus 20 verse 8, it says this, the fourth commandment, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter, your male servant or your female servant, or your livestock, or the sojourner who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested on the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Why is it that the longest commandment, the one right really in the middle of the 10 Commandments, is the one that we seem to forget? Maybe the one that we struggle with the most. And we forget, when we forget, we have forgotten something that is really close to God's heart. I mean, God really cared about this commandment with the society in ancient Israel. So much so that a couple chapters later in Exodus, he says, "You shall keep the Sabbath because it's holy for you. Everyone who doesn't keep it shall be put to death and cut off from the people." I mean, this is something that is so important to God. It was practiced at the beginning in creation. It was practiced by the nation of Israel. It was modeled by Jesus, and we need to observe it today if we are going to be authentic followers of Jesus. And so tonight, we need to rediscover what the Sabbath is. Just like a latte, the Sabbath is a 3-ingredient formula. The first ingredient is work. I mean, Exodus says the first 6 days you shall do your ordinary work. In the beginning, in creation, 6 days, God worked. After he finished creation and after he made man in Genesis, he said, "And God blessed them," talking about humanity. "And God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the heavens and over every living creature that moves on the earth." God said, go to work, to man. And so that's something that we have to do. That's an important ingredient in the Sabbath formula. You know, I got to be honest, during this whole Corona era, I really felt like my work was taken away from me in a lot of ways. And when my work got taken away from me, I struggled. I mean, I got low, I got bored, I experienced apathy, and in that apathy, I experienced some temptation that I hadn't felt in a really long time. And part of the solution for me was to find new and unique ways to go to work. Work is important. God created you to work. I see more students today struggling with who they are and their identity. And students, can I just tell you that part of the solution is to go to work? So very practically, let me just encourage you, go get a job. Go find a sport, play a hobby, create art, make music, and find something and harness it and use it. And what Solomon says in Ecclesiastes is he says, whatever my hand finds to do, do it with all my might. And Paul says, whatever you do it for the glory of the Lord. Take work and make it something that glorifies God. Because that's the first ingredient of this Sabbath formula. The second ingredient, it might be a more fun ingredient, it's rest. You know, I remember what it was like in middle school and high school. It's almost as if someone has handed you a menu and you have 5 things to pick from. For me, it was sports, it was maybe a job, it was school, it was social life, and then sleep, right? And you have this menu of things, 5 things, but it feels like you can only handle 3. If you want to be an athlete and be successful in the classroom, you've just given up your sleep, right? You feel like you're going to live life sleep deprived. And some of you, you're like, I want to play a sport, but I also want to go to church. And do I have to give one up to do the other? And it feels really difficult. It feels like you're always juggling. Here's the reality about life. Sometimes you have to do all 5 things. When you become a father or a mother someday, you don't get to suddenly give up marriage or give up fatherhood or motherhood or give up your job. In life, you have to learn how to pursue multiple things at the same time. But here's the deal. God knew that this was going to be a challenge for us. And that's why he gave us the 7th day. On the 7th day, we rest. And so as followers of Jesus, we need to be committed to rest. We need to be committed to blocking off a time and looking at our schedule individually and also with our friends and family and finding time to rest. For some of us, that might be Sunday. Traditionally, the Sabbath is Saturday, but we don't want to get into the weeds. If Sunday is your Sabbath, then it might look like you going to church, worshiping, going out, enjoying friendship after church. And then when you go home, you don't try to find a shift at your job. You don't try to train. You don't do homework on Sunday afternoon if that's your Sabbath. You've already worked 6 days. You've got it done. No. You find a book. You go for a walk. You get with your crew. You feast to finish the day. I mean, you do all the things that rejuvenate you, that prepare you to live life the next 6 days. I mean, the Sabbath is a wonderful gift from God. But sometimes we just really struggle with that. You know, I love what NFL quarterback Kirk Cousins said when he came. This NFL quarterback who probably feels more pressure than we do said, "I believe God can do more with 6 than I can with 7. This is a dude who gives up his Mondays to rest with family and friends. And you know what? He had a pretty good season. God wants us to rest. You know, I think a lot of us are looking out on the horizon of normalcy. We're waiting for things to get back to the way they were. And so right now, you might have more time on your hands than you have had, but you remember what it was like to be in the middle of midterms, of sports, of plays, of activities, of papers, of rushing to church, of grabbing food, the busyness of life. You remember how hard that was. And to avoid that, to not go back into that reality, we've got to focus in and understand the final and third ingredient of Sabbath, and it's worship. You know, when we talk about worship, I think sometimes we get in a bad habit of just thinking that worship is singing songs and going to concerts and coming to CCS, but that's not what worship is. Worship is surrendering our whole life to God. Romans 12:1 says, "I appeal to you, brothers, by the mercies of God, offer your bodies, your whole life, as a living sacrifice. This is your worship." You see, what Jesus has done for us is he invites us to transform our 6 days of work and our 1 day of rest into 7 days of worship. Jesus modeled the Sabbath better than anyone. I remember there's this one story in Matthew where Jesus is hanging out with his buddies on a Sabbath day. They're out, they're taking a walk, they're enjoying the weather, they're probably singing songs, cracking jokes, and they get hungry. So what do you do when you're hungry with your friends? You go, you get a snack, you have a meal, you feast together. I mean, there's nothing better than that, right? And so that's what they start doing. They start picking food out of the field and eating a snack. It's probably not as good of a snack as we can get, right? But they're just living life. They're enjoying one another. They're doing what you're supposed to do on the Sabbath. And some religious leaders come to them, and essentially they say, you're breaking the rules. You're breaking our rules. And they're legalists. And here Jesus is doing exactly the will of his Father. And he looks at these guys, and really he gives them an intellectual answer. But at the end of that, he says something to them, and he's saying the same thing to us. And it's this: I am the Sabbath. Jesus is the Sabbath. He is our rest. He is our work. He is what we worship. And an invitation to enter into a relationship with Jesus means an invitation to imitate him, to live life the Jesus way. I think that way is described really good by Jesus. And I love what Eugene Peterson, he paraphrases the words of Jesus. He says this: "Are you tired? Are you worn out? Are you burned out on religion? Come to me. Get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me. Work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me and you'll learn to live life freely and lightly. Doesn't that sound amazing? To live life freely and lightly. That's what Jesus invites us into. See, the wonderful thing about this ancient fourth commandment that was written on a stone tablet is it is a way to pursue Jesus. The Sabbath is a pathway to a deeper, fuller relationship with Christ. As we go after the Sabbath, we go after Jesus. So right now we're entering this time and our band's gonna sing a song and it's about peace. It's about experiencing peace. And here's what I want you to think through, reflect on as you participate in this next song. How in your life can you live out this Sabbath principle so that all 7 days of the week are days where you experience the peace that Jesus has for you?
Bring it all to peace. The storm surrounding me, let it break out your name. Still, call the sea to still, the rage in me to still every wave. Out your name, Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Breathe, call these bones to live, call these lungs to sing once again. I will praise, oh Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble, Jesus, Jesus. You silence fear, Jesus, Jesus. You make the darkness tremble, Jesus, Jesus. Your name is light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is light forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, 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 you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus.
God, we thank you. We thank you for the opportunity that you give us to come before you in Jesus' name, not only for what we can do for you, but just giving us a chance to rest. giving us a chance to know you, to know your goodness and your love, your mercy, your kindness. Thank you for this chance that you've given us to have a life that is just full of those things, that is full of wonder. We love you. In your son's name we pray. Amen.
Man, I love hearing Logan lead us in worship and hearing that message from Zach. But just like Zach said, worship is more than just music. It's a lifestyle. And so I don't know where you're at right now. Maybe you're overwhelmed. Maybe you're stressed with social media or the future of school. We don't really know what's happening right now. But I want to encourage you guys, if you need prayer or you just need someone to talk to, click the live prayer button. It's on the bottom right of your screen. We would love to start a conversation with you about rest, about the Sabbath, about you just learning how to be present with God. Jordan, what else do we have?
Yeah, so we want to just show you how to take the things that we're talking about and start having these conversations with your friends. So we did this week with Jeff Fortson. He volunteers all across CCS, and we hope you love it and check it out.
What's up, CCS? We just heard Zach's message about the Sabbath. We want to talk about application and what does it look like in the real world, because sometimes we hear a sermon, it's like that sounds good. And so to help me, I want to bring in my friend, Jeff Fortson. I just arrived to his house, and so he's gonna get in the car. Hefe's a cool guy. So, Jeff, what's up?
I'm a cool guy.
He is.
Put on your seatbelts, kids.
That is true. Wear the seatbelts. Jeff, introduce yourself. Talk about what you've kind of been around all of CCS.
Yeah, I've been volunteering at Compassion Christian with the youth.
He is a famous musician.
Yes.
I mean, literally hundreds would come and listen to Jeff's band. Talk about that. Just
hundreds. Yeah, sometimes hundreds, sometimes tens. It was pretty awesome. Did that for 10 years, and it was so famous that at the end of the 10 years, I went back to college and became a Spanish teacher.
All right, I'm gonna put you on the spot right now. He doesn't know I'm doing this. So give us like 5 seconds. Sing your favorite lyric or your favorite song you've ever done. Give us this, a little tidbit. Just a little sample size.
We are the champions, my friends.
You didn't write that song.
I didn't write it.
You didn't write that song. That wasn't original.
That song, I would be so rich.
So, Hefe, the reason we brought you in, here's what we're doing, is something we do all the time. We go to cookout a lot. We're big cookout fans. We also play football together. But one thing we do, and one thing that kind of started this Drink Run Devo, is like applying gospel conversations to your regular day life. So with that, Hefe, what does the Sabbath look like for you? How have you practiced the Sabbath? All that kind of stuff.
I guess to me, the Sabbath is not so much about the day or a day. It's about the mindset, or about the call of God to rest and to rest in Him.
Zach talks about like when you pursue the Sabbath, you pursue Jesus, and this is something I struggle with because we talk about the Sabbath. A lot of times, like we talk about, you have to be still, you have to be silent. Like that's not always the case. It's about being present with God. What are ways that like you've connected with God and the Sabbath has kind of like changed your relationship with Him?
What works best for me is to get outside in some way, to not really have an agenda. That's sort of to me what the Sabbath is. To not have an agenda, to not have like a set like X, Y, and Z is going to happen today.
Because then it feels more like you're just going through the motions. Right? It's like your goal should just be, I want to connect with Jesus.
Yeah, and I don't want it to be like a checklist. Like I got to check it off my list. You know? And I think that's where I can rest most in Christ.
So as we're kind of going through this, on your, like, as you're watching this, students, like, drop down the place you like to go. Like, where's the place that you find rest with God? Because I think you and I are a lot alike, and some people are different. And so sometimes we think the Sabbath is just sitting and being quiet. But to pursue God means to pursue Him in the way that connects with you most. Like, being in nature with God. Like, that's where I connect with Him. And that's what some people do. Some people, it's through art. Like music, like let them sing, listen to music, like whatever that thing is for you, it's about prioritizing that in your life. And so, actually, let's pause. Hefe, what is your go-to? Do you have one?
My go-to is the peanut butter fudge.
The peanut butter fudge?
One. Yeah.
Thank you very much. See that? Manners, friends. Use them when you're at the cookout or any other restaurant as well. All right, so let's get back to our topic. As we eat our milkshakes, drink, drive around, how would you suggest to find their spiritual pathway, the way they connect with God the most?
I think God connects with us, where we're at. So God connects with us through our interests and through our hobbies and through the way that we're wired, our personalities are wired. I'm passionate about music, so I connect through God a lot through worship, through music.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I like being outdoors. So if I can take myself outdoors and it's nice out or whatever, look for ways that God is involved in that, or that you can involve God in that, because He's looking to be involved in your life.
And I think that's huge. I think one thing you said is like so key. It's not a like one size fits all. Like finding your Sabbath and your rhythm is like the beauty of discovering your relationship with God, right? Like when you find that moment that you connect with God, like it changes your life. We're almost back home. Have you got any last advice when it comes to the Sabbath, making a priority, pursuing Sabbath so you can pursue Jesus?
So God knows we need rest. He knows that we need a time to take a break. And I would just encourage you guys to find that time and to find the thing where you can take a break and rest in the presence of God.
Yeah. And so this week, we want to challenge you to do two specific things. We want you to do one, apply the Sabbath to your life. And then secondly, this week, just like Hefe and I did, engage in a spiritual conversation. This is something that's not fake. Like we do this. We talk about what God is doing in our lives. We want to make talking about spiritual matters normal, not just in your small groups with each other. Because I think when you find friends that you can actually talk about God and what He's doing, what you need to do, it changes everything.
It really does, man.
And so, Hefe,
cheers.
Appreciate you. Cheers. Students, we love you, and we can't wait to see you. Enjoy the Sabbath, enjoy pursuing Jesus, and enjoy a shake.
Ciao.
Hey CCS, we hope that you start engaging in these same conversations right where you are, right with your friends. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you join us.
Whoa. Is this the end?
Yeah, we're done.
I can't leave until we settle this.
Settle what?
I need to know who won.
We decided it was a time,
No,
Marley.
we're going to settle this with rock, paper, scissors. I challenge you to a rock, paper, scissors battle.
After this, you just have to call me the winner all the time. The champ. From now on, we'll refer each other as the champ.
Whoever wins?
Yep, whoever wins.
Okay.
One round.
So rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
On shoot.
Okay.
Here we go.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yes, I'm the champ. What's up, CCS? We love you. We'll see you again. Join your Zoom groups. Check out this video. Deuces.
Two things. One, your student pastors miss you like crazy. Two, it is crazy hot outside. Putting those two things together, you need to know we are out to get you. We want the bunch of balloons. Here we go.
Look at this one.
Oh my gosh. Say something funny.
I don't know. I'm not a funny person.
Dude, that's right, you're not.
So here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna show up. We're gonna act like we're gonna give them a present.
And just want to shout out to these guys. They're doing some awesome stuff in small groups together.
I'm getting nervous.
We are about to pull in to our victim's house. Get ready to watch the magic happen. I don't know what to say. Let's do this. No, I don't like that. Let's see how they react. Let's go.
Hello.
All right, so I think that was a success. My makeup is running down my face. Those guys loved it. They shot me. I'm soaking wet. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll see you guys soon.